Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to use Google Classroom. So the first thing we'd like to do is to open the Chrome browser. Then I start new tab and I go here and scroll down to find the Google Classroom. Click on it. It will open up. So here we have classes that I have already created and I'm working with. So to add a new class, you go to the plus sign button here and you click on it. So here we have two options. So the first one is join class. This is for students. As teachers, we need to create class. So we click on the second one. Okay, of course here you just check this box and you click on continue. So to create the class, you need first of all to give it a name. Okay, for this purpose, I'm going to just call it first back 2. So the others you may leave them blank, or if you please, you want to add the subject, for example, say write English. And I click on create. So it's simple to create a class. Waiting for it to get ready. Here it is. So as you see, we have here stream. So here where the majority of activity take place. So here students can post, you can post, reply to each other, etc. So here the communication with your class takes place in this corner. Then as you see here, we have the name of the class, first box, second, number 2. We have the class code. So this is the code that you can share with your students to join you. Here we have the classwork. Okay, so here where you create assignments for your students. The people, here you find the students. So for example, here we don't have any students because we have just created the classroom, the class, sorry. So in order to add students, either you click on this button and you start writing their emails, and of course it's difficult to do and you need to have all their emails and you type them one by one. So there is a better way to do it, which is sharing the class code. Okay, this one. Here in this corner, you find the grades for the assignments that you have posted to your students. Okay, now we go here, click. So here you can modify a number of things. For example, the class name. Okay, if you have made a mistake or something. Then you move on to this general tab. So we have the class code. So as I said earlier, this is important. This is what you are going to share with students to join your class. So here we have a number of options. So you click on display to show it, and here you copy simply by using the shortcut Ctrl+C for copying the code. Let's do it. Okay. And we have also simply copy, reset if you want to change the class code. Okay, let's give it a try. So you see the class code is no longer working. So for example, sometimes you find the code is difficult to write. it's not clear whether it's O or 0 or something. So you can change it. Or you use this disable button. For example, if all your students have joined the class, so you can click disable, so nobody else can join your class, and it's useful. Concerning streams, so this is the part where the majority of interaction takes place between you and your students. So here you choose what students can do. So we have three options. So students can post and comment, or you want your student just to be able to comment, so they don't have the right to post, or only teachers can post or comment. So it's up to you to choose what is suitable for you, of course. The classwork on the stream. So here on the stream, how do you want to appear? For example, you can show attachment and details, show condensed notification, or you hide all sorts of notification. So for me, I'd like to leave it as it is, show condensed notifications, not detailed ones. Okay, then we move to the grading calculation. So here, by default, it is set to no overall grade. So you don't need to get the or to get the marks of all your students. Okay, the total points. Okay, or you can weigh the grade by category, for example, grammar alone, reading or writing, etc. So these elements, you can add them here. For example, you write reading and you give it the default mark, for example, 20. You can add another category or language, and also you set the marking. Okay, let me say 20, etc. So personally, I don't do it, so I'm going to do without it. So I delete them. Then you click the save button. Now go back to the stream. So as you see, this is the code. So I can copy it. Now let's go to the students page. Okay. So in students page here, I can click also on Google Classroom. Then I come here and click on the plus button. This is in French, so rejoindre un cours. So I click on it, the first one, and I'm going to paste the code I have received from my teacher. So then I click rejoindre le cours to join the class. So here I am. I have joined the first back class. Now go back to the teacher's account. Okay, here, if I go to people, then I will find that a student has joined. Okay, it's here. So here I have some actions that I can do. Okay, namely, I can send an email to the student. I can remove him or her if he has just got the code from another student and is not part of your class, or you mute him or her and don't receive any notifications from. So the same thing applies from here. You can just email students right from three dots button. Now, in classwork, of course, if you want to create an assignment for your students, you are going to use this button, the plus button, and you have a number of choices here. So we have assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post, topic. So if you want to create an assignment or a quiz assignment, let's choose one. Okay, so you need to give it a title. Just let's write test, for example. Okay, here you can add some instructions and it's optional if you want to do it or not. And then we have the add, if you want to add a document from Google Drive, a link. If you have a link, just click on link and you paste it here and then add link. Okay, or you have a file in your computer, just click on file and you browse to where the location of that file and add it. Or if you have a video from YouTube, you click on this one. Okay, I'm going to add it, to click on create, and here we have a number of things: docs, slides, sheets. So these are like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel, etc. So I'm going to head to forms, which is something nice. Now in forms, this is where you can create interactive exercises, tests with your to your students. Okay, so the first thing is you'd like to give it a title. Let's say a title. So here I'm going to write homework. Okay, and if you want to add a description here, you can add one. Okay, then here we have a number of choices. By default, it's multiple choice question. So first of all, I'd like to write or to make a short answer because I need to gather some important information about my students. First one is the name. So I'd like to write full name to know who is the student who answered the question. So of course here they can answer and write their names. Okay, and this button or this slide here, I activate it to make it required. It's important and it should be done. So the student is obliged to write his full name. Okay, for example, I need to know their class, so I can just use this button here and duplicate the first one, and then I make changes. So instead of full name, I just say class. Okay, and all the other options are preserved or from the previous one. Okay, down here I have a plus sign in order to add a question. Okay, let's do it. So this is a multiple choice question. So here you can type your question, for example, what is your favorite? What is your favorite color? Sorry. And here in the first option, I would say green. So I give them choices. Then I click orange. And then blue. Okay. So here we have in three dots you have description, go to section based on answer, shuffle or option order. So I would check this. So when the student refreshes the browser or takes this test another time, these options will be shuffled. It's no longer the green, orange, blue. Maybe it will become orange, green, blue, or blue, orange, and green, etc. Okay. You can also choose a paragraph. For example, if you want to have students write an essay or an article or a paragraph about some topic, checkboxes are different from multiple choice questions in that multiple choice question you have just one correct answer, but in checkboxes you can choose more than one. Let me add another question, okay, to make this clear. Okay, let's have this drop down menu. So in drop down menu, okay, let's say I want my students to use the present simple. Okay, so let's say Ali, then I put I put dots, okay, and the verb be between brackets. Ali is a dentist. Okay, so I'd like students to put these verbs in the verb to be in simple present. I give them choices. Okay, let's say is, are. Okay, so is, are, or am. Okay, and also if you want to make it required, you change the slider. Okay, now if you would like to preview how the students is going to see these, okay, you find the preview here. So we have the full name, we have the class which are required. Then the first question is, what is your favorite color? So you choose green, blue, or orange. Okay. Then Ali be a dentist. So look at the drop down menu how it looks. So here you have choices. So is, are, or am. So I would say is. Okay. Then you click the submit button. Okay. So it doesn't move forward because I didn't put a name. Okay. Let's say Ali, class first, back. Okay, now it will work. So here it gives you a chance for the students to submit another response. Okay, so let's go back to the editing panel. So here also we have responses. As you see, because student Ali has answered, I can see the summary, response, okay, the class, okay, and what his answers were. Okay, so we have the questions. okay, or you can visualize from for each student, okay, homework, and here what he has done, and even the time when did he submit the exercise. So up to now, what we have here is that these forms are not auto-corrected. So how can we do this? So we head to the settings, and here we have three tabs. So to make these forms auto-corrected, so we head to the third one, which is quizzes, and we make this a quiz. Okay, so here we have some things to take into consideration. So in the quiz option, we can release the grade immediately after each submission, so the students can know how did they do in this quiz. Also, they can see the questions they have missed, their correct answers, and the point values they got. Okay, so for me, I'd like to leave them as they are here, and I click save. So when I click save, we are going to see some new things that we didn't have before. Okay, so I go back to the questions. So for example here, before we didn't have this answer key. So when I click now the answer key, okay, so first of all, I'm going to give it the number of points I'd like to, for example, let's say, give it 2 points. And I make this one as the correct answer. Okay, add answer feedback. Okay, for example, you can add if it's incorrect, what are you going to say? Sorry, but that is not correct. And for the correct answer, the feedback would be, for example, good. Then I click save. And I click done. Okay, so here, as you see, the checkbox here in green shows the correct answer and the number of points. So for also it applies for the checkbox. Okay, for example, you do the same thing. So you click on answer, you give it number of points, let's say 3 points. Okay, and I would like to choose the correct answer. And if you would like to add feedback, you add it from this button again, or simply you click done. Okay, I'm going to add another question. Okay, and make it a multiple choice question. Just this time, I'm going to use an image in the question. Okay, let me select. So when you click an image, you can upload an image from your computer, your camera, by URL, okay, photo or Google Drive, Google Image, etc. Okay, for me, I'm going to browse to my computer. Okay, go to desktop. For example, here I have the image of an eraser. I double click it. Okay, to upload it. So I can type the question, what is this? Okay, so I give it options here. Okay, I can say it's a pen, an eraser, or a ruler. Okay, and of course I need to set the correct answer. So give it a point, then I choose the correct answer and I click done. So as you see, you can use images in your Google Forms. So here we have you can import questions from this button or add a title and description for a particular question. Also, you can add an image or a video or add a section, and this one is very important. You don't need to make a long Google form. Okay, you need to divide it into sections. Okay, for example, if I add section here, so the student is going to answer question number 1 and question number 2, then he will find a next button, okay, to move to the new page in order to continue this. Okay, for example, let's say you have comprehension in the first section and the second one is about language, so you type here language. Okay, and if you would like to give it some description, you give it. Okay, and then you add other questions here. Okay, let's preview it, okay, to see how it looks. Okay, as you see. Okay, so this is the first part, then we move to the next, and it will not work because I didn't fill in the required fields. Okay, I hope that this short video is of some benefit to you. Okay, and if it's not that good, it's just I do apologize because it's my first time doing a tutorial. Thank you for watching.